Hey guys, welcome to my channel on MetaDevBlox. Here, we do things a little differently. We jump directly into the good stuff because let's be honest, who wants to see me type out code, make mistakes, and then at the end of the video be like, hey, I spent 2 hours trying to copy this code just to find out it doesn't work? My code, it works and has been thoroughly tested within my games. So let's kick the tires and light the fires. In today's video, we're diving into the chaos of data persistence and leaderboards in Roblox. Ever wonder how games in Roblox save your stats so you can flex your leaderboard position over your friends? Or when you log back in to your favorite game and it magically picks up where you left off? Well, buckle up because we're solving those mysteries today, one line of chaos at a time. Alright, now that we have our code open, we'll go ahead and zoom in for you guys here so you can get a better shot of it. We want to start off all scripts with detailed comments. Detailed comments allow us as developers to understand what we're doing in our code, especially if it's been a period of time when we come back to it, we can then pick it up. Or if we're working with others, then it allows them to get inside of our brains. Now, let's jump into the code. First, we need to call in Roblox's DataStoreService. This is Roblox's survival vault, if you will. This is where all player data lives on for years, from levels, kills, gold, you name it. It's probably there. Next, I've named our data store leaderboard video 1 because, you know, it's creative, sort of. But seriously, this is the name your game will use to find all of your players' saved data, so make it unique. If you ever wanted to reset your players' data, just name it something different like leaderboard video 2, and bam, the data magically disappears into the void. Or does it? Actually, no, that data will always be there under that original name. So if you ever wanted to bring it back, just rename the data store back to leaderboard video 1 and bam, that data is magically back and your players have that original data in their saves. Next, we're going to set up some configurations to keep things running smoothly. Think of it as giving our script a bit of patience because let's face it, servers, they're like toddlers and they throw tantrums when they're not happy. So here we make a bit of anti-tantrum protection variables. 3 retries, 2 seconds of waiting, and we're auto-saving every 60 seconds. It's like putting the game on autopilot, except we're the pilots, and you better believe we're doing barrel rolls with this baby. This code is doing all the heavy lifting of your game. If we don't add this in, then it could leave your players without their data, and trust me, you don't want that. That's the quickest way to tank an up-and-coming game. Alright, let's talk about the get data and the safe get data function. This little guy is our first line of defense against server hiccups. Alright, here's the deal. We try and fetch the data. If it works, we celebrate. Woohoo! And if it fails, we warn the player and try again with a little more patience each time. This time gap is a self-protection feature that will prevent the data store from having too many calls to it and preventing it from reaching its limits. Now let's flip this script and talk about saving data. Meet safe set data, the function that locks your stats down to the vault. We save stats only when we need. No wasting time, no server overloads, just pure efficiency. And if it fails, well, you guessed it, we try again. And again. And again. Speaking of saving stats, let's dive into how we keep track of changes. Here's the save player stats function. This function checks if anything in the player stats has changed. If it has, we save it. If it doesn't, then we don't. It's like spring cleaning, but only for messy rooms. This way, it again protects the data store from too many calls, because if we reach these limits, then there's a chance it will not save your player's data. And well, you guessed it, that's bad. Definitely bad. Now, what happens when a player joins the game? We call in the load player stats, our trusty sidekick. Every new player gets a set of default stats. It's a little welcome gift to get them started on their adventure. Returning players, we load their saved data in and roll out the red carpets. These stats can be money, kills, levels, gold, whatever you want. You name it, they get it. As we had discussed above, we want to retrieve the safe set data. This is what gets the player's stats if they are a returning player. If not, then this is the function that sort of gives them the default stats, which is instance.new int value, and then whatever the stat value is. Like here, they would get 100 money if they're brand new. This one down here is where it goes into the auto saving every 60 seconds just to ensure that their data is preserved, because if it is not, players will get upset, and you definitely don't want that. And if the server somehow still manages to mess up while trying to save, blame lag. Always blame lag. Don't blame me. That would be great. Next, we want to jump into event listeners. With the event listeners, when a player joins the game, we load their stats. When they leave the game, we save them one last time, just because we're nice like that. And we want them smashing that like button, just like you should do for this video. We can think of saving player data as giving them a big warm hug when they arrive and a pat on the back when they leave. And that's that. A full data persistence and leaderboard system for Roblox, ready to keep your players' progress safe and sound. This is also the very system I use within my games like Meta Z and Jackpot, so trust me, when I say it's done its barrel rolls and performs flawlessly, oh yeah, it definitely does. And zoom out here so we can sort of see the full window again, and we can run a quick test play. And as you see, it comes in, we got our little output window here. It says loading stats for MetaDevBlox, loading successful, and the stats are loaded successfully. And you can see here, I got my 100 money, my level 1, and we're all set to go. And we can rock it out. Alright, and as you can see, once we hit stop, we get our last little printout of player leaving, MetaDevBlox, saving final stats, and then stats successfully saved on exit, which means we are good to go. So if we pop back in, our stats magically appear, and we're all set. And that's that. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more great content that cuts out the boring, and let me know what chaos you want to dive into next. Until then, remember, the wastelands can be a lonely place when you're surviving by yourself, but take it one line of chaos at a time, and I'll see you on the other side.